Hey there, YouTube land. And usually on Sundays, I'm doing the flea market haul. Unfortunately, this week we took our car to the shop, and it was going to be for like a regular kind of like pretty much a maintenance thing. So $600 later, flea market was canceled for this week for us, unfortunately. But I do have some viewer requests that I'm finally getting around to. Basically, I had somebody ask me recently if with the new Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie coming out, they're looking at buying the box set and the Man from U.N.C.L.E. series. And they knew that I'd shown it earlier in a previous video, and actually I think I reviewed it about 2 or 3 years ago. So if I'd kind of like re-look into the set again and show them what it looked like. As I mentioned on here, I think a couple previous times before, Falgar was looking into down the road buying the He-Man set, and I talked about it to him and stuff, so I said that I would get to around to pretty much showing it off and letting him see exactly what it looked like. And somebody else asked me if I could look into the Hammer set again and also give my thoughts on which of the Hammer films I think are the best. So I thought, since I didn't have a flea market video to do today, I was going to be doing the want to do a video for you guys anyway, and I'd do the viewer request, and pretty much we'd look into the Man from U.N.C.L.E., the complete series set that I bought about 3 years ago. I had and I think they're bringing them out now on single releases, like season 1, season 2 type of thing, on their own. It's this exact same set, by the way, just so you know that. They're just bringing them as singles now because the new movie's coming out. I know I've seen the first set actually at Walmart recently. I think it was about 45 or 50 bucks. So we'll start off with the Man from U.N.C.L.E., and hopefully I'm going to be able to keep that in front of the screen way more than you're going to get to see me. But here we go with the first one, and that is the Man from U.N.C.L.E., the complete series. Right now there's a new movie out, and I'm actually kind of interested in seeing it. The trailers actually look like they'd be kind of fun, and I want to keep this down here on the set. So it's like an attaché case. It actually is fairly solid. I got to say, I've had this now for 3 years, and as you can see, the case itself is in really good condition. So first off, you open up the case like that, and let's see. Even though you do that, then you want to get this one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the case and let you guys see exactly what's inside. So you open it up, and you see Napoleon in Ilya there on the inside of the case, which is a really nice picture. And we can see the beginning of the set. As you can see, the first season right there, it's even the same kind of mustard yellow color that you actually do see on the set that's at Walmart. So we'll open it up, we'll look at each one. These are actually really good sets. Hopefully, if you've got the first season set on its own, let me know if all the discs that are in the first one are in there. I kind of wonder if the bonus one's in there. So you open it up, and it's got like this here kind of like a plastic overview. There's 29 episodes on the first in the first season. This is I think it's the black and white season. Like, I'm not quite sure. I'd have to rewatch this again. It's been a while now. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. it's a good series. It was like a very different. There's a lot of discs on this one here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 discs. The 11th disc is a bonus features disc. So if you've got the original, the set now, the new one that came out, let me know if it had the 11 discs or if they compressed them onto less discs for the new release, and if these special features were actually put into it. Now, the special features here included things like Cloak and Swagger Affair, the untold history of the Man from U.N.C.L.E., Solo, the original color pilot of the series, and bonus features like Uncle VIP's, a celebration of the Man from U.N.C.L.E. guest stars. Now, that's something that I'm pretty sure will be shown in all the releases. Basically, every season we'll talk about the guest stars because he has some pretty awesome guest stars throughout the series here. You will also notice that that in the back here there is a booklet which actually talks about all the episodes. It'll give you like a pretty much a good overview. You'll see this here, like a picture of Napoleon Solo and pretty much all the sets. It's just like a thin booklet. It has some nice writing in it. Talks about each series as each season that goes along. Shows you this one went from 1964 to 1965. It lists everything that's on the features. It gives a kind of little overview of that season, and talks about some of the people that are in it. I mentioned how Vaughn and McCallum kind of became like sex symbols at the time, and If you've never seen Man from U.N.C.L.E. before, I'm not sure what exactly I can tell you about it. It's going to like really give like a good description. Basically, if you've seen like the trailers from the movie, then you know that Napoleon is, well, he's like an American agent, and Ilya is from Russia. And the fact that they're working together is kind of a big deal because, of course, back then, I guess it makes more sense than it would now. But I guess it kind of makes sense now with the whole Putin thing going on. Basically, there was kind of like the Cold War alliance. I'm trying to get this thing on. It's not going to be easy. But the show played there's some serious stuff, but it did a lot of tongue-in-cheek as well. It managed to capture I think it really managed to really capture kind of I got to move a bit because my feet are falling asleep, but it managed to capture the fact that the humor and the action without like missing out on either one. It was a good, it was a pretty good, it maintained a healthy balance is the best way to put that. The second season here is done with the blue case. This one has 30 episodes, 2 hours of bonus features. I'm not going to open them all up, but there's a bunch of discs. Again, there's the bonus disc. Featurettes, the Spy-Fi Tour, Archives, Art and Artifacts. One Spy Too Many, 1966 feature film based on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I think it might have been a couple episodes cut together, but I'd have to look back at it again to see. Bonus features, of course, the VIPs things, talking about the guest stars again. Just, a bunch of different stuff on here. Again, you'd see the discs on here, and there would be the bonus disc as always, and there would also be that the fantastic booklet. Now, season 3 here is also another big season. It's the Red Case season. I'm not sure if these are all out yet or not on single releases, but I'm pretty sure like at least some of them are. Now, this one has, and my feet are tingling right now because they're so asleep. Just to let you know, guys know, it has 30 episodes again, for 90 minutes of bonus features. We got Double Agents, Dave McCallum, Robert Vaughn reunion, The Secret Tapes of Ilya Kuryakin, home movies from the set of Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is actually really cool, and bonus features, of course, with the guest stars, the VIPs again. And so again, we got like bigger. Now, the fourth season was a shorter season, and it ran actually only 16 episodes. I know that would seem like a normal season now, but back in the day, a lot of series ran like 30, 36 episodes, all that type of thing. This one ran 16 episodes. This one is actually 6 discs. Called MGM's Secret Operations featurette and U.N.C.L.E. VIPs guest stars again. Now you think that will be all, but no. If you buy the set like this, you're actually going to get some bonus discs as well. Hidden at the bottom of there are these 2 like little disc things right here. And this one here is bonus disc number 1, basically Cold War, Hot Spies, U.N.C.L.E. in the Cold War, Guns, Gadgets, Gizmos and Garb, Behind the Wheels, of U.N.C.L.E.'s Prana, promo trailers, like official debriefings with interviews with Neen Hargrove and David McCallum, some amazing show promos on there. The second disc brings on some more official interviews with actors, production stills, some TV appearances and guest spots, the Golden Globe Awards that they're on. When they're on the Emmy broadcast, they had McCallum on the Andy Williams show. They had Tom and Jerry cartoon called The Mouse from Hunger, and a photo and image gallery. So that there is, and the way you can see it is like basically it goes in like this, and this here kind of is used to help keep it out. So we'll put in the season 3 and 4. Season 2 and Season 1. It comes in like this. You snap it closed, and it's like to take good care of it. The case itself should stay in a really good condition. Mine has. I know that some people have said that they've had some breakage in that over the years, but as you can tell, mine is over 3 years old and it hasn't had any issues at all. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. set, the complete series, I think is the way to go if you can get this one. I got it for fairly inexpensive. Now, that was about 3 years back, and still, if you can find this at a store, if you've got an HMV or maybe your Costco has it, or you can see it at a FYE, we don't get those around here, but or a place like that, then definitely grab that up. I'm going to go grab some tea, but you guys won't know that because when I come back, we'll be starting on the next one. That's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, so I'll be right back. Hey there, YouTube land, and as you can see, I have tea. So, not wanting to make the same mistake as before, let's not sit on my feet and watch some Tango Frath for 10 minutes. So right now, we're going to get into the second set. This is for anybody that doesn't have this one, and back in the day, Mill Creek was known for doing like a lot of really cheap sets, but they would have stuff on it that you couldn't get anywhere else. So you pretty much didn't matter what the quality was, and you'd find movies that were in widescreen that'd be in crappy editions that would be, maybe a little bit better, but they'd be in full screen. Then Mill Creek started to get like a lot of really good stuff. And then they got this. See, BCI Navarra, BCI closed down. It did a bunch of these like Masters of the Universe sets, all these kind of, a lot of stuff they got from, oh God, and don't tell me it's going to like go on now, but the Masters of the Universe, She-Ra, all that type of stuff. All the, yeah, Filmation. Thank you. That's the name I'm forgetting. I totally forgot. So this one has one of these here. As you can see, these here kind of plasticky things, they're really hard to keep in good condition. I've had two Scooby-Doo where I use sets. Neither one of them has the plastic in like great condition. But this one here has managed to stay fairly well, although I gotta say right here up along here, it has kind of phased out. But the set itself has stayed in pretty much immaculate condition. Why? Because the set is done really well. Here's the exterior of the set, the Potted Parts of Grayskull. It talks about what's on there, the 3 series, and we'll get into that as we go through. So first off, you see this, and when you first see this, especially from far off, what you kind of think this is this a kind of like a plastic bubble type of thing, where they do like the kind of like the plastic thing, and it'll be like kind of like hollow. Well, this thing here, however, is like solid, kind of like a ceramic type of thing. So that's one of the first things you notice. So the box itself has a bit of heft to it. You can actually look on the side here. You can see it's a numbered 15,000 limited edition. Mine is 4,419. Beautiful picture of Skeletor, and we see this amazing picture of Skeletor and He-Man facing off on the back, along with another picture of He-Man right there. We've got the Masters of the Universe logo on the top of it, and of course the information and the logos for all 3 series that are included on here. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, of course, is the original. The New Adventures of He-Man was the one that was done later on, and the newest version, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So let's open it up and see what we get when we look inside. So just like the other one, you're going to want to open it up like this, because then you're going to see this awesome picture, with He-Man and Skeletor and all the characters in the background. It is just an incredibly well done picture. And then you're going to look and you're going to see this, and this is going to be fairly impressive. The first thing you get, and mine is still sealed, is this one here. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe selections from the original TV soundtrack. Now, Shout Factory did in fact put a 2 or 3 disc edition with like 38 or something tracks on here. This one pretty much looks to have all the songs that were on the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe soundtrack album that came out. And you can see it on here. It's got some neat artwork on here. And the songs are He-Man and the Masters of the Universe theme, Teela's theme, Orko's theme, Sweet Dreams, Castle Grayskull, The Royal Family, Run Orko Run, Meditation, Orko and the Ascending Machine. Orko gets a lot of play on this one here, apparently. Number 10 is the Spanish version of the Masters of the Universe, and number 11 is an alternate version of the Masters of the Universe. And since Masters of the Universe is a series that was based around a toy line, you could not really do a really great comprehensive set for Masters of the Universe without including at least a nod to the toys, or at least having a toy. And they did that. They gave, the big sword, the power of Grayskull. Their He-Man sword is like a gold edition, which does fit actually into the hands of the characters. So that's pretty good in and of itself. That's some decent stuff. Now, instead of having like a small disc type of thing, or small like a booklet, it actually goes for like a thicker booklet, and it really needs to, because it goes in depth with pictures and stuff with every episode of every series that's in this collection. So you're going to get a really good episode guide. It also talks about the bonus discs, and since it won't have the information on the back bonus disc. Well, but we'll keep this alongside us in case we need to reference it later on. First up is like I got put on top because I was watching it recently. Was bonus material. It has a bonus material new celebrating 30 years of Masters of the Universe documentary on it. We got He-Man invades the San Diego Comic-Con 2006. Holidays and Morals of the He-Man and Masters of the Universe. Heroes and Villains of He-Man and Masters of the Universe. The Comic Book Adventures of He-Man and Masters of the Universe. The Fans of He-Man and Masters of the Universe. The Power of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And that's like for the 30 years of Masters of the Universe. And also we got some video commentaries on this disc here for Courage of Adam, Lessons, Orko's Garden, Snake Pit. We even got a PowerCon teaser on there. PowerCon's the He-Man and Master of the Universe stuff. First up, we have He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And how are these done? These are done like this, and I actually dig these. I really like when Mill Creek would still do this here. Although it only has the titles on here, the book that's included with it has, you know, a really good description of each one on here. So if I have to know exactly what's on, what each episode is, I just go to this book and it fills it in for me like fantastically. So we got He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and that's going to be a few discs. So we're going to go season 1. Later on, they would kind of like start putting them on top of one another. Now, the reason I like this a lot more than like having them on top of one another is for the basic reason that this keeps it from scratching a lot better than it does if they're just opened up on one another. These here cases, you know, such as they are, do keep them in pretty good condition. I've never had any issues of scratching with any of these here, as you can tell by looking at the disc itself. I've never had issues with any scratching or any damage. And just to see how big these sets are, so season 1 of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe takes up 8 of these sleeves. So thankfully they did not go out and put them all and try to compress a lot of episodes on one disc. And the last one, disc 8, is actually a bonus feature disc in and of itself. We have the Secret Origins of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe documentary, Stories of He-Man and the Master of the Universe Part 1 and Part 2. We got 50 detailed profiles of various characters, creatures, and artifacts. We have 5 complete episode scripts, which I'm sure you can probably get in PDF format on here. Diamond Ray of Disappearance, Quest for He-Man, Evil Seed, Ordeal in the Darklands, and Prince Adam No More. So, again, this is the first season of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Let's put that one to the side, and then we're going to get to the second season of He-Man. Obviously, it's done in a very, very similar fashion. So, I'm not sure how many discs this one's going to take up. I think it's going to be the 8 again. Remember, they got these from they actually bought the rights from BCI, but they remastered them to make them, they actually are better quality than the original He-Man kind of like ones that came on BCI. The BCI ones do have some great quality and they have some amazing art cards. This, however, the quality is just a bit better. And again, we have another 8 discs, and the 8th disc again has bonus features. And it tells you along the way, by the way, I didn't mention this before, but if there's commentaries in episodes along the way, like Cat and the Spider has a commentary, we'll list on the disc back itself where there's a commentary. So there's commentaries all the way through there. And again, we have Part 3 of Stories of He-Man and Master of the Universe, and Part 4. So finishing that up, we have the Magic Filmation, the name that she remembered that I didn't, which is shocking for me, and animating He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. We have another 50 detailed profiles of various characters, creatures, and artifacts, and 10 more complete episodes scripts. So if you want to see what they are, you can pause right there, because I want to be reading them again. Next up, we have the very best of He-Man, of the Adventures of He-Man. The Adventures of He-Man probably was considered to be the lesser of this, of all 3 series, and probably because of that, they pretty much decided just to do like a kind of like a top. I think it's the top 20. Yeah, it's the top 20 of the He-Man, New Adventures of He-Man. Now, it's a shame that they didn't go for the complete series. I think there's 65 episodes in the series itself, but they did give us a good overview of it. That's one where I would search out the BCI if you can, if you're a real He-Man completist. The New Adventures of He-Man is out in one box set, which you can get. It may be a little expensive, but watch these episodes here, decide if you want to have the complete series, and most likely you will, and you'll go and grab the BCI edition. This one does, however, have the bonus documentary featurette, Creating the New Adventures of He-Man. So you get a 20 disc best of here, plus the documentary as well. So we don't get cheated too much on that one. We lose the 45 episodes, but we gain, I guess we gain something with the documentary. Let's try and get the other ones out here now. And the thing is, it is kind of like deep, but the way that it's done along the sides here, it doesn't make it very hard to get the discs out if you want to get them. They're not too inaccessible. And that's a big plus, because when you got something like this, you have so many discs, you worry about the fact of accessibility and how it's going to go. This one here runs 4 discs, and it gets you all of the episodes. I was a really big fan of the new remake one. He-Man and the Master of the Universe. I thought they did a really, really good job of this series, and I'm glad to see that it's shown here in its completion. We have the bonus material here, interviews with toy line artists from Mattel and the Four Horsemen. That was a big, big feature that had been missing on the previous Mill Creek releases that people wanted. We have scripts from episodes 31 to 40. We have a digital comic of the unproduced 40th episode, which is really cool. So there's like 39 complete episodes plus the comic book for the 40th episode, which was never like produced. There's commentaries on here, like, you know, there's a bunch of commentaries. I think every disc on this one has commentaries. Now the first disc here has 5 commentaries all on its own. So there's like a bunch of commentaries. The features on this stuff is incredible. It's easy to get back into here. It's easy to tell which episodes are which. We have a guide to let us know more in depth on which episodes are that we want to get at. So if there's like an episode that we want to watch, we pretty much we can see it and say, okay, that's what we want. We have a bonus features disc that's pretty incredible. As you can see, it's really easy to get these back in and get these out. I've had no problem really getting any of these out at all. It's very accessible, and again, this is a great feature in and of itself. It even has like kind of like a making of a legend like thing on it. It says like, come on, share. This is what Criterion should still be doing, actually putting booklets instead of like little things in there. And each one has like, if you look closely to it, you can see that it has like pictures and all kinds of stuff on here. They did a great job with this one, in my opinion. I think this is the way to go if you're going to be collecting He-Man. And I'm a big animation fan. I'm a huge fan of He-Man. So this is a set that I do think is really worth having. I'm a fan of all the 3 series of He-Man. I am a bigger fan of the first and the third, so it didn't matter a lot when I didn't get all of the second one. I did feel a little bit gypped on that, but considering the price that I got this at and the quality that was put into this, and I will say Mill Creek really did a great quality control on these sets here. The aspect ratios, if you look into it, will actually be right. You just have to, for some sets apparently, you had to go into your DVD player and just fumble with the settings. So I never had to do that. The aspect ratios went well for me. This is Castle Grayskull. How cool is that? So again, be very careful with these things here. I find that these plastic things are as good as the person that's taking care of it, to be honest with you. They are very, very hard to keep into good condition unless you're very careful. I wasn't careful enough for that one right there. However, as you can see with some of my other sets, like my Friday the 13th set, it's been pretty good. Is it because of better plastic? No, it's because I pretty much had it in a better place. And that's why when you're moving and stuff like that, or you're getting these from away from somewhere, just try and kind of gauge the condition of the plastic box set in and of itself. So I'm going to go drink my tea. I'm going to come back and we're going to look at the Hammer set. That's the third and last viewer request that I got here. We're just going to look into the movies themselves. We'll look at the set, and then we'll look at which ones I think are the best inclusions on the set, especially with a lot of Hammer coming out now around Halloween time. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about those couple of sets that are coming out as well, and see if some of those are worth getting. So I'll be right back as soon as I finish my tea. Hi, I'm back. I just finished my tea, and I thought it would be time for us to talk about Hammer. Now, the Hammer set that I'm about to show you, first off, I should preface that there's some Hammer coming out around October area. Basically, I think one is coming out this month, one is coming out in September, October. One of the reasons that people are starting to get excited about Hammer again is that they are actually putting out this set right here. This is a 4-disc Blu-ray edition with the Mummy, Taste of Blood, Dracula's Risen from the Grave, and Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. Now, I've got to say, those are 4 excellent Hammer films. Unfortunately, this set here, when they originally started to release it and they showed the back of it, they showed it with a bunch of features on it. Then they quickly took that picture off and put up a new picture with no features. So it looks like this set here, if you get it, it is going to be pretty much a bare bones one. If you do have a region-free player, there are some great editions of these out already in the UK, and they are completely filled with features. They may actually be a little pricey right now, but I think overall what you get is pretty much bang for your buck, and it's really good. The other one that's been that people tend to be interested in is this one right here, and that would be Mill Creek's release of Hammer Films Collection Volume 1. As you can see, it has the Gorgon, Scream of Fear, The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, Curse of Mummy's Tomb, and Stop Me Before I Kill. If you're a Hammer collector already, you're going to recognize some of those films because Four of those films actually will make up the set, the Hammer like Icon collection, and those are with the Gorgon and the Scream of Fear, the Mummy's Tomb and Curse of Mummy's Tomb, and of course Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll. If you already got that set, then you're not going to want to double dip because that's the exact same set. Now, Stop Me Before I Kill itself was on another Icon collection, the Hammer Suspense Icon collection, which had like 6 films itself, like movies like Snorkel and all, and a few other films on it. And Stop Me Before I Kill belongs on that set. However, if you don't have either one of those Icon sets, don't see yourself picking it up, this is a very inexpensive way to get that. I would be guessing that the other 5 Hammer movies that came on the Suspense collection would probably show up in Hammer Films Collection Volume 2. So if you're kind of wondering what it is that he might be showing, I'm kind of guessing that, considering this one here showed the Icon collection, that he had kind of like the thriller one with Gorgon and that's all on here, plus one of the ones from the Suspense collection. I'd kind of hazard a guess that this is a very kind of inexpensive way to get the second volume as well, which will probably be the Suspense collection, because at least 5 more movies for the next set. Now, all that being said, let's get into the set that I was asked about, and that's one that my better half picked up for me, and that is the Hammer Collection, a 21-disc collector's box set. And this has been shown off before on channels like Logan Toxics, who is also a huge fan of Hammer, and a very good friend of mine, actually. He's a really nice guy. So when you open this up here, the first thing you see is that it comes open like that. You get the cross on here. We've got like Dracula on this side. We've got Valerie Leone from Blood from the Mummy's Tomb on that side. We got me knocking things all over the place on that side. But let's hopefully hope that these are... This is why you do these live, so that you can actually have these moments of like accidental hilarity where you almost start crying because your sets start to go over. And that's the one thing. Be very careful when you're taking these things out and showing them off on camera. Am I going to start this thing over? No, I'm not. I'm just going to keep going. But let's take this all out here. So what you'll see is that it has kind of like it's a pretty solid box. So obviously, I wasn't holding it solid enough. And it closes up like that. So we've got everything out. First thing you're going to notice when you get this here is hopefully not it flying out of your hands, because that doesn't normally happen, but it did happen in this case. Are these here art cards? We've got Dracula, Prince of Darkness here. We have Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, Quatermass in the Pit, The Reptile, Frankenstein Created Woman, 1 million years BC, and we get back to Dracula, Prince of Darkness again. Aside from that, we also have a really good booklet that actually shows off each and every one of the films. It gives a decent description, gives the principal photography date, the release date, the certificate of the film at the time that was released, and a description and a picture up above. I find this to be really good overall. There's also a little essay at the beginning of there with some great pictures. A great picture of Peter Cushing right there as well as Christopher Lee. And with now both men passed on, it's really good to be able to just look at these. It is I really enjoyed the essay, and here's a fantastic picture of Christopher Lee. I think that's from Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Now, you'll notice right away that this has Dracula, Prince of Darkness and Frankenstein Created Woman. If you're here from North America and you're a big fan of these films, you probably grab the Millennium Blu-rays. And if you haven't, I really do suggest you do. They are fantastic presentations on each one of those there. You have some art cards of their own, and they have some really great documentaries. Does that mean that you shouldn't pick up this set? Not at all. And we're actually going to get into why this set is actually a really amazing addition. So what we get here, and a lot of these have come out on Blu-ray since then. I think that if you're starting to collect Hammer, if you've never collected Hammer, this is a really great place to start. The first collection here, book 1, if they're done like a book, you can see this is actually Christopher Lee from the movie Rasputin on here. And we have Ursula Andress from the classic movie She. It opens up, and right here on this side you'll see the names of all the movies. And if you look at it, it'll actually tell you the aspect ratio, the running time, and it will let you know if there's any features as well. And like for instance, The Nanny here has a audio commentary with Jimmy Sangster. So first off, we have Ursula Anderson's She. We have The Nanny with Betty Davis. Your Betty Davis fans, it's a really cool one. Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Again, an amazing film. Plague of Zombies. And Rasputin the Mad Monk. For me, Plague the Zombies and Rasputin the Mad Monk are the two. Like, I love all the films. I'm a big Hammer fan, though. But Plague the Zombies tends to be the one that people remember the most. In a lot of cases, it's for like the nightmare sequence, which is referenced pretty much in every still that you ever see for the movie Plague the Zombies. Yeah, I found it pretty creepy as a kid. I still find it kind of creepy now, the way that the eyes are done. And just, it's a really different version. These aren't the George Romero's zombies. These are more the zombies type that you would see back in the day. The old school, the white zombie. And I don't mean the group, I mean the actual film type of zombies. So for me, in the first one here, getting to see Rasputin again and Plague Zombies was amazing. I like the fact that we got one of the vampire ones, Dracula, Prince of Darkness on there. We have like a suspense one, The Nanny with the Betty Davis on here. We have more of an action one with She, with Ursula Andress on her. So it's a really good representation. This is not just a horror set. This is a Hammer overview set that's really getting into some decent stuff. Now with book 2, as you can see, we have Raquel Welch from 1 million years BC, and on the back we have the Reptile, which is a Hammer monster that I think was really well done. First off, as a reptile, and isn't that kind of like terrifying? Again, we have the information here. And are there any features on any of these here? Yes, we have interviews with Raquel Welch and Mary Harryhausen on 1 million years BC. So we have the Reptile. We have the Witches, which is I think is 1 million years BC. The Viking Queen, and Frankenstein Created Woman. So before I got Frankenstein Created Woman, this was one of the big ones on the set. But Reptile is actually, I think, for this set here, for me, would be the big winner on this one here. It's a really cool monster movie. It's something a little bit different. It's not something that's been done a lot. The Witches, it's kind of a more it's a straightforward. It's a Witches one. We got 1 million years BC. I haven't seen Witches in a long time, so I'm just going to like totally flub my way through that. I'm not going to pretend that I know it when it's been a long time since I've seen it. 1 million years BC, which is one that I did watch recently with Raquel Welch, and she is very, very gorgeous. The Viking Queen, again, another style of that type of film. So we got and Frankenstein Created Woman. So we have some very, very different films there. Frankenstein Created Woman, is one that is a very different Frankenstein type of film. It doesn't go in the same way that the other ones do. Basically, make the monster ravage the village, or Dr. Frankenstein's just an evil character. This one here, we really get to it comes to sort of a revenge. There's a very psychological aspect to Frankenstein Created Woman that's really hard to describe and explain to you without actually ruining aspects of the film. And I don't want to do that, because I think it's a movie that you should actually look into and discover yourself. For some people may find it a little slow, but I do find that it has a nice build to it, and overall I thought it was a pretty good film. But the Reptile itself, for me and for anybody that's not really like a Hammer fan, will probably be the best one on this here book itself that could get you really into it. It is a monster movie, and monster movies are very, very fun. You see book 3 here, and of course we have this one, and that's, I don't remember the actress's name at the moment, but I know that she's from The Vengeance of She. Of course, we have Anu Kier from Quatermass, and The Pit right there. So, and we have, like, again, the booklet, and we have the feature thing. So are there features on this one here? Let's check it out. There's, on the last one, there's a feature-length commentary by Uriah Ward Baker and Christopher Lee, a trailer, and a stills gallery. So not too bad. So Quatermass and the Pit, which is kind of like a science fiction. Think of it like Doctor Who before there was a Doctor Who. But, well, at this point there was Doctor Who, but Quatermass was a big inspiration for Doctor Who. He's not a time-traveling god, but he's a scientist that pretty much kicks ass of creatures that come from outer space and try to take over the world. We have Vengeance of She, which is a sequel to the Ursula Andress movie She. Is it as good? No, not even remotely. But I do get kind of fun of the kind of the cheesy in this aspect of it. However, this is not one of the better films that Hammer made. It's nice to have it as an inclusion. And so you have both She films, but it's a lesser film. The Devil Rides Out is a favorite of mine. I do like this one here. And I'm not going to give anything away. It's just a cool suspenseful, like one with the occult aspects. Kind of like The Witches. That's what I was looking for when I was trying to talk with The Witches. The occult aspects that are, the occult suspense that they do. And my personal favorite, and probably one of my favorites on this set, is Scars of Dracula. I did pick this one up when I was in Morocco, actually in Marrakesh Mall. But it's nice to have it like original from this English one. I got the one in Morocco basically because it had features on it that were not available anymore since the Hammer Anchor base set has gone out of print. So Scars of Dracula is a really, really good one. It actually has Patrick Troughton on there from Doctor Who fame. He plays the assistant of Dracula, and some people at the time had issues with it because he's like whipped and beaten by Dracula, and they thought Dracula wouldn't do that. And I'm thinking, he's a nobleman and a vampire, and a vicious, warrior. If you go by the fact that Dracula is actually Vlad Tepes, so yeah, Vlad Tepes did way worse than whipping his servant. So I think that's not much of a stretch to think that Dracula might actually want to get a little sadistic. In actuality, this is a very good set, a very good one on here. Quatermass in the Pit is a great film itself. I really like that. I like all the Quatermass films. I like the way that Hammer did them. Vengeance of the She is obviously a weak one here so far in the set. Devil Rides Out is a fantastic little cult film. Prehistoric Women is a lot of fun. I like this one. I found it very super cheesy, but it's my type. But Scars of Dracula is the obvious winner on here as a premium one for the set. Next up and lastly is book 4. As you can see, we have David Prowse. There's Darth Vader without his helmet on, but under heavy makeup for the Frankenstein film that he's in. And of course, on the back we have Natasha Kinski, and well, she was in the last Hammer film, To the Devil a Daughter. First off, we see that it has this again. And do we have any features? We actually have the best feature coming up here. First, we have a full-length audio commentary with Jimmy Sangster on Horror Frankenstein. Then we have a Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. We got a commentary with Valerie Leone and Christopher Wicking, and some radio spots in a stills gallery. There's an interview with Veronica Carlson also on Horror Frankenstein, which is really worth checking out, by the way. And Straight Until Morning gets an audio commentary with Rita Chishingham. Fear in the Night gets an extra audio commentary with Jimmy Sangster. Demons of the Mind gets an full-length audio commentary with Peter Sykes, Christopher Wicking, and Virginia Wertho. And To the Devil a Daughter gets the best feature of all. To the Devil a Daughter, The Death of Hammer, a documentary featuring Peter Sykes, producer Riley Skeggs, two main screenwriters, actor Christopher Lee, Hunter Blackman, and David Anthony, talking about the end of Hammer, their very last film, and what it took to get To the Devil a Daughter on the screen. It's really interesting. Also, the interview with Eddie Powell and a trailer. So this one here, as you can see, when you get to book 4, we are loaded with features, and that's some really, really great stuff and some great commentaries. We start off with Horror Frankenstein, which is a really fun one. Kind of cheesy. This is the one where they actually teamed with Universal, and they could actually use the Frankenstein Universal look. If you've watched any of the other Frankenstein films, or the Frankenstein Monster Universal look, the Frankenstein Monster doesn't normally have that kind of like the square head thing, and that was basically because that was a Universal thing, and if anybody was going to use that, Universal would sue their butts. However, they teamed up for this one here, and it is actually one of the lesser films, but still kind of fun. Next up is Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, which I really did enjoy. I like Valerie Leone. I think she's gorgeous in this, and I do dig this story. Now we have Straight Until Morning. This was the reason that I picked up this, that I got this set that I really wanted. Straight Until Morning is kind of a suspense one. It's a thriller, and it can seem slower at times. But the thing is that Straight Until Morning is one of those movies that I really liked when I first saw it. It very much is a psychotic Peter Pan type of film. Watch for all the references as you go through to Peter Pan. There are a lot of them, and they're pretty blatant. But it was a movie I saw on CBC Late Night when I was young. It really, really got to me and stuck with me for a long, long time. Rita Chishingham is in this, and I really do like that actress. Fear in the Night is another cool one there. As you can see, we have Peter Cushing on here. We have Demons of the Mind, which is another great occult one that I really like, a little bit kind of like the incestuous thing in that one as well. And To the Devil a Daughter with I think probably one of the first roles or early roles for Natasha Kinski. She was actually underage when she did the nude scene here, but I guess it wasn't underage where she was doing it in Europe. And it's it's really well done. I like this film, and overall I do enjoy this set. So what were the reasons that got me to set? What were the movies that I liked? Well, I think I went through them all as I went through each one here. To the Devil a Daughter was a movie that I really wanted. Demons of the Mind I haven't seen in years, so I really want to watch that one again. Straight Into Morning is a favorite of mine. I've always loved that. Blood from the Mummy's Tomb is another fantastic one. Let's see if I can put this back in without having to put this into like 3D and kind of like, so we'll actually put this back in here together so you guys can see how it goes. So we got book 4, and as you notice, these things kind of flew out here, and none of the discs came out. So the discs are actually in pretty solid. That's another good thing about this here. We've got book 3, book 2, book 1. We have the art cards and the booklet. Since the booklet lets you know about the thing, now you put this up here, make sure everything's inside, put it like that, and there you go. This is the hammer set. So that's it, guys. That's my viewer request one. We've actually spoke about three things. We spoke about actually more than 3 things. We spoke about the Man from U.N.C.L.E set. We've looked into that extensively. I do recommend it. I think it's a really good set if you like that type of series. I think it's really fun. Man from U.N.C.L.'s quality, I didn't find it dissipate over the years. I thought the quality was pretty solid overall through all 4 seasons. I like the He-Man Masters of the Universe series. Like that one, I can highly recommend. It was really well done. A lot of features on that one, and to have the sword itself and the soundtrack were just extra bonuses. Like they're kind of like the cherry on the cake. We also looked into the hammer set there, and we spoke about the hammer releases that are coming up. Are they worthy of getting the hammer set there? If you don't have any hammer, I really think it's a great way to start with the hammer stuff. There are the hammer that's coming out recently. Now remember that the Blu-ray set that is coming out, it's got 4 on it, do not have any features on it, but if that doesn't bother you, you could buy it like that, the set itself, or you can, if you're not sure if you want to buy them all, each of those movies that are coming on Blu-ray are also coming out separately. If you don't have the Icons of Horror hammer sets, they can get a little bit pricey now, between but $25 to $30 or over each. So to get like the complete set of the first one and then one of the second one on Volume 1 of the Mill Creek one for just $16, is actually not too bad. It may actually be a little bit cheaper before it comes out. So keep an eye on that and see which edition you'd like to get. For me right now though, my voice is almost going, even though I've taken some space in between these 3 here. I'm going to open up these windows because it's starting to get a little hot in here. And I'm going to get myself, I'm going to recaffeinate. I'm going to get myself just a little bit more tea. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you had a great time, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. Again, I'm sorry that I could not do the flea market haul this week. Money situations pretty much made that a no-go. Say hello to the dead head above. And right now, I am going to go and get my tea. This is my first viewer request. If you'd like to see me do more of these, just let me know, and just let me know any sets or films that you'd like me to talk about. I should say one more thing. I was recently asked about the Blu-ray curtains, if that was a decent release to something to pick up. Curtains was actually one of my favorite releases of last year. It has an impeccable transfer. It's an amazing transfer. The sound is great on it. The picture is fantastic. The features are incredible, and you will enjoy that movie. It's a cross between a giallo and a slasher, and it is so because, well, you watch the features of the movie and you'll find out. So if anybody was thinking maybe, should I pick up Curtains? Yes, you should. It's a really good movie if you're a fan of giallos or slashers. However, if you're not a fan of either one of those, Curtains may not get you in the way that it would if you are the, into those type of films. Again, thanks for watching. For me right now, it's time for tea, and have a happy Sunday, guys, because I am out of here.